Hello. So I wanted to document or start documenting my journey on bladder cancer. It is not a very common cancer, especially for women. Typically, men over the age of 55 years old, smokers, or those that have been around or worked in areas that had a lot of chemicals. Neither of those statistics I fall into. I'm not a smoker, never have been a smoker, never really was around secondhand smoke per se. I'm not 55 years old. I was diagnosed at the age of 37 years old. I am currently 42 years old, and I am now facing having a cystectomy. What is that? That is removal of my bladder. They are going to take out my bladder, I believe part of my intestine, and I have two options. They can make you a bladder, which is called a neobladder, and that they attach to a part of your intestine and to your urethra, if you know your anatomy. So you have to then learn how to use the bathroom all over again, because it's really not a bladder. It's a small pouch that in return would need to be trained on how to eliminate or void the urine. Some people have to what they call straight calf. And forgive me if you guys are not familiar with some of these terminologies, but I'm really making this video, this documentary, for either caregivers or people that may be going through bladder cancer, and also on the verge of having their bladder removed. Because I did some research, YouTube University, and a lot of people do document their journey, their cancer journey, but I did not really see any, or that many, maybe a handful of real life people that experience what I'm experiencing. So just to kind of backtrack, I was diagnosed at 37. That was in 2017. Yes. The years just fly by way too fast these days. I lose track. So now it's 2022. We are in December, and I've been through several what they call TURPs, and that is a resection of tumors in your bladder. My cancer started off as low grade to non-invasive. And what that means is that the tumors they have a low grade, so that it does not have the likelihood of reoccurring once they remove the small tumors that are inside of your bladder. So initially when I was diagnosed, and I'll probably do another story time on that, I had the TURP surgery done to remove the small tumors, and then I had 6 rounds of BCG. BCG is a type of chemotherapy, not the chemotherapy that most are familiar with, which is intravenous. This one actually goes into your bladder through a Foley catheter, a tube. They put the medicine, the chemo in there. You hold it for a couple hours and then you eliminate it out. So I went through that actually several times because my cancer actually ended up coming back several times after that. So you typically will go every 6 months for a cystoscopy, which is where they go in your bladder in the office and they can visually see on the screen if there's any signs of bladder cancer or any signs of tumors. And if they pick up any tumor-like cells, then that's when you have to go for the TURP, and they will remove it under anesthesia. I've been through that several times. I've had to have Foley catheters afterwards. I've had kidney stents placed in my kidney to help with it filtering. I would say probably after the third bout of it reoccurring, I found out in 2020, yes, that the cancer had went into my ureter, which is a tube that leads to your kidney. So you have your bladder down here, you have a tube, and then you have your kidney. So this tube had cancer in it, and it was heading to my kidney. So they had to remove this and remove this. So now I have one kidney on the right side and one tube. That surgery was done June 25th, 2021. So that was last year. It was a pretty major surgery, and I had to be out of work for, I think it was about 8 weeks. But I handled it pretty well, recovered pretty quickly, no complications. I've had follow-ups for the kidney cancer. Oh, I missed a step. I also, prior to having the kidney removed, nephrectomy is what it's called, medical terms, I underwent chemotherapy in 2020 from December until February, so 3 months. I did 6 rounds of chemotherapy. This chemotherapy was intravenous. I did have a port placed in. And that port is where they access for you to have your chemo injected. So I went through that, handled that like a champ, even though it was during COVID and I could not have any visitors. That was probably visitors or anyone accompany me. Typically when you go through chemo, you have a family member, a loved one that accompanies you just to, be moral support. I did not have that. So, I went in every couple of weeks for my chemo, and I got it done. I still worked. My doctor did not want me to work, especially with it being COVID, the height of COVID. But I still worked. I love what I do, and it really helped to take my mind off of what was going on in my body. So I worked through it all. Didn't really get too sick by the grace of God. And then I had the kidney removed, June 25th, 2021. So here we are, December 9th. Yes, December 9th. And 2 months ago, I went in for my follow-up cystoscopy at my urologist. And she, in the office, saw that there were multiple tumors that had returned. So at that time, we decided that we'll probably do another round of BCG, or not BCG, but another round of another type of chemo that I haven't tried yet. But I really didn't want to go through that again just for it to fail. because here we are 5 years later and still here, still keeps on coming back. So I almost feel like um, I am delaying the inevitable, and the fact that it's already gotten to one of my kidneys, I can't afford to have it attack my one and only surviving kidney, or for that matter, metastasize somewhere else, to another organ. So I have opted for bladder removal, cystectomy. Hope I'm saying that word right. And I just got the call today from my doctor because I've been pushing her to set a date. I wanted to have it in January. After I, thought about it for a couple weeks, I just decided, yeah, I need to get it done. And I really wanted it done in January. I am self-employed, so that is a huge setback for me, because if I don't work, I don't get paid. I don't have anyone that can fill in for me with the type of work that I do. So income is going to be tough. It's going to be tight. But I have my faith in God, and He has not failed me yet. And I know He won't fail me. So I just trust and believe that everything will work out for the greater good. My kids, I have 2 boys, 23 and 17. My youngest is graduating this year from high school. I'm very excited. And if anyone knows me, I love to celebrate. And I want to be good as I can be to be there watching him walk across the stage and throw him the biggest graduation party and get back to traveling, because one thing your girl likes to do is travel, even though it's going to be different. But yeah, I definitely want to get back to traveling. So yeah, today I got the news that my surgery is going to be January 31st. Right now it's December 9th, excuse me. So I think a little bit of anxiety is starting to step in. I wasn't nervous at all. I already mentally prepared myself to have this done. Try to prepare my boys as much as I can. But I know it's going to be tough on everyone. I have a great support team of friends, and some family, but I have a great support of friends nearby that I know will be more than willing to step in when needed. I am a person that do not ever like to ask for help, ever. But I think most of my friends, they know me by now, so they just take it upon themselves without asking, which is nice. But yeah, I just wanted to see if I wanted to document my journey going forward. I've attempted this several times before when I was going through chemo. I tried to document a little bit, but never really put anything out there. So I think this time I may start actually vlogging the different appointments. I have a video call appointment with my doctor next Friday to go over any last minute questions that I might have. And yeah, we're going to get the ball rolling. I can't say I'm excited. Definitely not excited, but I'm really looking forward to the next chapter in my life. Going to be a lot of changes, body changes, so physical changes, mental changes, so I'm really financial changes. I usually do okay with change, but I don't do good when my finances are not good. So that should be interesting. But God's got me. God's got me. And everything is going to be as it should be. I feel very blessed, humbly blessed, where God has brought me so far, this far, and where He can continue to bring me. I believe that, in all areas of my life, things will start to flourish afterwards, in my business, in my personal life, my family life, everything. So I don't want to make this one too long, but I did want to try this whole vlogging situation out and see. Love watching YouTube. I love getting and listening to people's journey and what they've gone through. It's really inspiring, encouraging, and if you can reach one person, then I'm golden. Reach two people, even better. Each one teach one, and because bladder cancer is such a underserved cancer, as far as research, as far as treatments go, there really isn't that much awareness at all out there. Since I've been diagnosed, I started doing the bladder cancer walks I tried to do it every year. I even did it virtually when COVID happened, try to raise money for it, because it's near and dear. It's near and dear to my heart, and I'm an advocate for my patients, and I'll kind of go over a little bit of what I do at another time. But as much as I'm an advocate for my patients, I'm an advocate for what I believe in. And the healthcare system is not the best, but we still have to do what we have to do to play our part in order to get the right treatment and get the right research out there, so that people with this don't feel left out or feel like there's just not enough information or people out there that have it. There are a lot of people out there. I belong to a few support groups, and there are a lot of us out there. So like I said, I want to start blogging my journey. So come along for the ride. All right, talk to you guys later.